Embark on an unforgettable journey through Egypt with Hues of Africa and Soul Journey Travel. Discover the wonders of this ancient land with our expertly curated itinerary, from the majestic pyramids of Giza to the tranquil waters of the Nile. Immerse yourself in the rich history and vibrant culture of Egypt. Book now and use discount code VICTOR2024 to save $100 off your trip. Single and dual occupancy options available with flexible payment plans. Visit our website for more details and start your adventure today.
Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Get ready to rumble!
You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, it's Mr. FSP. And if you want to know why I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Okay, I got some stuff in me right now. Not that. I just received some information that literally is going to change my life. So I'm very excited about that. Not only am I excited about that, but I've got a great show in store for you. I got my two co-hosts, my brother on this side, my brother on that side, and we just ride on them. It's a wonderful day. As Mr. Rogers would say, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day won't you be my, could you be my neighbor? I'm bringing two of my neighbors right now. First of all, well, if one can ever sit down, let me bring in this one, JT ATM Money. I don't know why he got his hand on his head. I guess he got a migraine, but I'm excited. I am happy. And let me bring in my other co-host, who I want to bring on, but he just don't want to stay still. There he is, Q in Cali. What's going on, fellas?
How you doing? How's it going?
Oh, it's going great.
Okay.
How's it going, Q?
What's up, fellas? How you doing, Jerry?
We're doing great, man. Always great.
All right.
We're doing great. So what's this big news?
Check your text message that I just sent you. And along with that information I just sent Jerry, I get to see my other brother Q in about 2 weeks, 10 days from now. The wife and I will be rolling in the deep with Q down in To Live and Die in LA is the place to be. So
Stop acting all hard, bro. You know you're scared.
Dude, ain't nobody scared over here, bro.
Jerry, he already asked me not to take him to the hood.
I did, bro, for real? No, I did not. I know you live in the hood, so I'm gonna be there anyway.
He said, "Hey, Jerry, this is the first thing he told me." He said, "Is it gonna be safe where we're going?"
Hold on.
You know what?
No. Let me clarify what I said. I said. He gave me some ideas, or an idea to take my wife.
You Tim Scott?
Can I finish?
You Tim Scott? I'm just asking. You Tim Scott?
Oh no, I'm not. Are you the whatever? Anyway, he gave me this place to, take the wife to look out over LA and look at the stars and whatnot. Okay. So I did ask, was it a safe place? Because at night in parts of Hollywood and in LA, you might not want to be there, especially if they know you're a tourist. So, I asked the question.
Yeah, okay.
I like wearing two particular colors, and I ain't trying to get caught up because I got on both of them, or I got on one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, whatever.
The hate is real up in the field, up in this.
He's scared, Q. He's
I know.
scared.
He thinks
He's
he
trying to
thinks I'm
cover
gonna
up.
take him
He's
on a
scared.
training day tour or something.
Yeah.
No. Not afraid about no training day type, because I don't involve myself with the Sherman Hemsley or like to get wet. I don't like do none of that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
guys,
Okay.
this should be a good show. Not too long of a show, but a good show.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about two major issues or two major things going on in sports and whatever else comes up. First thing is, how about Justin Jefferson's contract? And does CeeDee Lamb get more? And does Tyreek actually get his contract restructured to remain in the top 5? Because right now he's number 8. He's number 8 in the highest paid receivers, and Jerry has him as the number 1 overall fantasy pick. So we just saw that CMC got an extension for 2 more years. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the NBA Finals. Luka and company came in smoking hot, and Boston hadn't played in like almost 2 weeks. And they just whooped them like they were nothing. Boston, I think last week I said Boston only lost 1 game all postseason. They lost 2. They're 13 and 2, or now 14-2 in the playoffs. Crazy. I know you got your 4 fingers up for the sweep. I know. But Q, since JT wants to do sign language, I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about this Justin Jefferson contract. And 1, how does it affect the Minnesota Vikings' ability to build around him, JJ McCarthy?
I get it, Q. I get it. He ain't getting it. He's slow. I get it.
Thank you.
What? I'm not looking at y'all. I'm looking at the camera. What am I supposed to be? What are you guys doing? 5?
Celtics in 5.
You say Celtics in 5. You say Celtics in 4. All right, I got that. But what do you think of? We're going to talk about the Celtics and them in a second. What do you think about the contract that Justin Jefferson just signed, and how does it impact the rest of the NFL receivers as well as the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, I think Minnesota had no choice but to give him whatever he wanted, because you need a top dog receiver when you have a rookie quarterback that you're planning on playing at some point this year. So they had no choice but to sign him to whatever he wanted, and you can't even deny it. He's worth it. He's worth all that money, and
$100 million guaranteed, $88 million the day he signed.
110 guaranteed. 110.
Oh, 110 guaranteed. I'm sorry. 110 guaranteed, but $88 million instantly the day he signed on Monday, or was it Tuesday?
Okay, don't make a difference.
Wait a minute.
He's just waiting
Wait a minute.
for
Let you
that
finish.
day.
We're going back to Q. I'll give you your chance. And some reason you went low. Your audio went low on us. But Q, finish talking about, they had no choice. But how does that affect the other teams? How does that affect the rest of his team? And, CeeDee Lamb still hasn't been signed. Jamar Chase, Tyreek looking for more money. Talk about that real quick. Then we'll go to Jared.
I don't think it affects the rest of his team, because there's nobody up for a big contract on their team. They're not going to pay their quarterback for the next 4 years anyways. So I don't think it affects them negatively. I think it helps them out, and as the other receivers, as far as I'm concerned, there's only 3-4 receivers that really demand that kind of money. And Tyreek Hill was talking about that he doesn't want to break the bank because it's going to hurt his team, because they got a lot of players to pay. But Minnesota's not in that position, but Miami is. I think Jamar Chase is going to get the bag. He's definitely going to get paid that, if not more. I think he's going to end up being the second highest paid wide receiver when it's all said and done. But I mean, it's an offensive league. You got to pay your wide receivers.
So
You know?
CeeDee Lamb's numbers are better than JJ's, and they both drafted in the same draft. Does CeeDee Lamb get more money than Justin Jefferson? And you said Jamar Chase is going to probably get more money? I'm interested in knowing why, but I'll take that to Jerry because he seems to be very opposed to everything you just said.
I'm not opposed to everything he said. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to get paid, maybe the equivalent, but slightly more than Jefferson. But Jamar Chase, they got two problems on Cincinnati, and both are the same: injuries. The quarterback and the wide receiver always get injured every single year. That's a problem. That's a problem. So you can't break the bank on a quarterback or a wide receiver that's constantly don't complete the season because they, for some reason, they get hurt one way or the other. And this has been going. It's not like it's just an anomaly one season. Since they've been in the league, either Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase has gotten hurt. That's the truth. They've gotten hurt. And if the best ability is availability, and if they're not available, how can you justify paying them? That's what I'm talking about. How can you justify paying them a big bag? If they're going to get paid, Jamar Chase is going to get paid, but I don't think he's going to come close to Justin Jefferson.
Okay, but let's look at the highest paid receivers right now.
Justin Jefferson.
I said receivers, not receiver. You've got Tyreek, you've got Cooper, Kupp, you've got Devontae Adams, you got Justin Jefferson, soon to be Jamar Chase, soon to be CeeDee Lamb. And I know I'm missing one or two that are already up there. Oh, AJ Johnson and Amon-Ra
AJ Brown, man. Brown.
Whatever. He's a baby. AJ Brown. And you know, it's like you said, you're going to pay those offensive weapons. But at some point, the piper's going to have to be paid. Let's look at Minnesota and Cincinnati, since those are the two teams that we're talking about the most right now. Minnesota, Q says they were going to have to pay their quarterback for 4 years. So that's a big, big deal. Very much so. Because that means for 4 years of that, 5-year contract JJ has, they don't have to restructure. They don't have to find money to pay JJ if JJ is not the quarterback that they want. They've got Aaron Jones for 2 years? And we know he's probably not going to be there for the second year, so they're going to develop whatever running back they get. They also have Addison on his second year, so he should be developing. TJ Hockenson signed a big contract when he got there. So they got to fix the offensive line and fix the defense with the rest of the money. Earlier, I'm going to say between March and the draft, the Minnesota Viking fan base was calling for the the general manager to be fired because they're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? And I think what Q said answers that question. He's setting up for the future. He understands that the team isn't majorly competitive right now, but they can be competitive with what they have, and they will be competitive in the next 3 to 4 years because of the money they'll be able to spend. On the other side, Jamar Chase, and then I'll get to CeeDee Lamb. JT, you make a good point. Every year, one or the two happens to be injured, right? If it's my man Joe Burrow, and it's not Jamar Chase. If it's Jamar Chase, It's not Joe Burrow. But there, you got an interesting situation. T. Higgins is going to be traded next year. Because you're not going to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and you already paid Joe Burrow. But the problem with Cincinnati is they've already gotten rid of their running back in Joe Mixon and brought in Zach Moss. Not a long-time fix. They've already decided either Hubbard or the other guy on defense is going to go. But Wilson and Pratt are their linebackers, and they're good. They bring back Jesse Bates, but that's not a long-term fix. So the issue with Cincinnati is they're literally in win-now mode. So depending on what they get back for T. Higgins will determine if they'll be competitive over the duration of these two guys' contracts that they're going to get. CeeDee Lamb. Everyone that has spoken on this subject has said CeeDee Lamb deserves every dollar he gets. Yep. What up, Mike? What up, Mike? Appreciate you, brother. CeeDee Lamb is deserving of every dollar that he gets, right? But the Cowboys got to pay Michael Parsons. They got to pay him too. Oh, by the way, Dak wants an extension. Oh, by the way, you just paid Diggs, who got hurt. You don't have really any good linebackers right now. Your offensive line isn't the best. Your running back situation is not good at all. But we got to pay CeeDee Lamb. Where does that put the Cowboys? Also, JT, you mentioned Tyreek said he doesn't want to break the bank in Miami. They just paid Waddle. They're about to pay Tua if he becomes the quarterback they think he's going to become this year. They're putting all these weapons on offense. They've got a slew of great talent on defense that's going to need to be paid. Does he get an increase so the team keeps him happy? Or does he just stay at the level that he is at number 8 and still being the best receiver in the game? I bring that up because that's what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady and now Pat Mahomes aren't the highest paid or weren't the highest paid players at their positions or in the NFL, but they continue to win championships. So is it getting the bag or getting championships? Which one is it, fellas?
Let me answer that real quick. And I'm going to go refer back to what Q said earlier about it's a passing league. Okay? So in my opinion, and in just as my opinion, you pay the wide receiver. The linebacker, Michael Parsons, in my opinion, I know he's a good linebacker. I know he can wreak havoc on the offense, but he's secondary. He's secondary. It's a passing league. You got an offense. You got a wide receiver that's reliable and doesn't get hurt. And is performed every game for the most part in the season. You pay the wide receiver. You don't worry. I shouldn't say don't worry, but I'm just saying Michael Parsons, to me, is on the back burner. He's on the back burner. He's a defensive guy. Okay. He don't put up points. He maybe help prevent points, but a cog. And he may not be that impactful this year with Mike Zimmer, with the rumblings that saying he doesn't like Mike Zimmer's defense. So I'm paying CeeDee Lamb, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and the main target of Dak Prescott.
Well,
which is obvious.
It's so they got to pay CeeDee Lamb this year and Michael Parsons next year. So it's not a matter of if they're going to pay him or how they're going to pay him, but they're going to get CeeDee Lamb taken care of this year. Then it becomes how much money do they have left between Dak and Parsons. CeeDee isn't a part of that equation because he should be taken care of this year. The other part of this is this. how much guaranteed money is on the table? Because if Justin Jefferson got 88 million guaranteed at signing, 110 guaranteed overall, how much does CD get? How much does Jamar Chase get? Q. I mean,
Who's
teams can play around with their salary cap to get all the money up front and just backload or trickle down the remainder of the contract over the 5-year period where it doesn't hit the cap that much. I mean, that's what they're doing with Justin Jefferson. So Q, talk to me. Does CD get more than 88 million at signing, and is his guaranteed money over the life of the contract more than 110? What JJ's going to have?
How am I supposed to know that, bro? I'm not the general manager.
I'm asking what your general manager hat on.
Bro, like, Dallas got problems, bro. I mean, if they pay that man that much money, they're not going to be able to pay anybody else because all their players, they think they're like the best and they all want to get paid. So they're being all greedy. So somebody's going to have to be a sacrificial lamb. Yep. And if it was me, it would be on the defensive side. So probably CD Lamb probably will get the bag. So at the end of this year, Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb, and Jamar Chase are going to be top 3 paid wide receivers, in my opinion. How much they get, I have no idea.
I think the sacrificial lamb is going to be in Dak. I do. I know he's getting $66 million this year and like another 60-something million next year. They might eat that.
Who they got a quarterback? Who they have a quarterback behind Dak? That's the problem.
They have
Trey Lance.
Can I finish my statement, brother? Yeah.
I don't think you comprehend that. Well, we're trying to say that this is an offensive league. This is an offensive league, bro.
I know that.
And if you break the bank on that, if you break the bank on the defensive side, you ain't gonna be scoring any points. Look at Micah Parsons. He's like supposed to be all great and stuff. They gave up like 50 points in the playoffs. Come on.
Okay, listen. What Tony's saying is what I was trying to move to. If they franchise tag,
they're not gonna franchise tag Dak.
Let me get it out. At the end of his contract, they can do it. They can't franchise tag him in the middle of his contract. He still has 2 years left after this year. So they cannot franchise tag, but they can franchise him at the end of it. And that's where they run into the issue of, okay, are we going to pay Parsons or we're going to pay Dak? So you franchise Dak at that time for 1 year. You pay Micah, and then if somebody thinks Dak still got it, you trade Dak. Because Dak has proven, in my opinion, he can win, but he can't win the big games. He can't win the big games, in my opinion. So, with that being said, I think it's doable to have all these players on these teams. Do I believe it's going to happen? I don't think so. Once T. Higgins is traded from Cincinnati, they'll get the picks and possibly a player or two in return to help build that team. If Dak is the sacrificial lamb, like I think he's going to be, Dallas will have their cornerstone in their pass rusher in Michael Parsons, their best wide receiver in CD Lamb, and JT mentioned something I was going to say. They've already decided if they're going to go with Trey Lance or not. So they're going to either draft a quarterback or roll with the guy that was in there when Dak got hurt at the beginning of, not the beginning, during last year, who didn't do too bad, but he wasn't the best. So that's where I see it going. Now, who is that? I'll do it this way. Look at the blueprint that Detroit just gave the league. I can pay my number one receiver. I can pay my number one quarterback. I can pay my defensive players. And I still got 2 solid running backs in the stable. And we still have money to spend on the team. I'm telling you, Detroit ain't no joke.
Okay.
Go ahead.
When you talk about Dallas and that linebacker, that undersized linebacker at that.
Pass rusher.
Whatever he is, a defensive player. Let me put him that way. An undersized defensive player, okay, who is reading his headlines, is in love with his headlines. And like Q said, they scored like 50 points. The opposition scored like 50 points on him. Maybe not 50 points, but you know what I'm saying.
He's not the only defensive player, though.
Wait a minute. He's supposed to be a game-changing player. What happened to the game-changing when he played the Packers? Am I right about that? He's supposed to be a game-changing player.
Actually, he had maybe, 2 sacks? He can't sack the quarterback and cover the receivers.
Can I finish? I let you finish. Can I finish?
Remember whose show it is. But go ahead.
But can I finish?
You can.
You gave the floor to me, and then you started interrupting me.
I again, what did you tell me on Sunday? Remember, it's my show. That's what you told me, right?
Yeah, but a good host lets.
Oh my gosh, just go. I said go ahead. I said go ahead.
Okay,
Victor, you're acting like Micah Parsons right now, bro.
Exactly. Thank you. Anyway, he's reading he's into his headlines too much. He wants to get paid. He wants to get paid, but he's not. He's a good player. I'm gonna put it that way. He's a very good player, but not worth a big bag as he thinks he should get. He's not worth a big. He's not worth a big bag. No, he's not.
I think he is.
Oh, I don't. In my opinion, he's not worth a big bag. And Q said it for me. It's a passing league. So your offensive players who are outstanding, you take care of them first before you take care of a defensive player.
I didn't say. Listen.
I didn't say.
You're misunderstanding.
I didn't say.
You are totally both of you misunderstanding. That's why I put up what Tony said.
What?
It doesn't matter between Parsons and Lamb. That's not the issue. The issue is Dak and Parsons. Lamb gets taken care of this year. Parsons is up next year, which is when there's an issue with Dak's contract.
Dak is a very important piece in that Cowboys offense.
Dak Prescott is more important to the Cowboys than Michael Parsons, bro.
Oh,
come on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, my God.
However, the problem with that is Dak has also proven that he is not the answer when it's needed to be him as the answer.
There's no quarterbacks out there to get, bro.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
and what is Mike Parsons?
I disagree that there aren't quarterbacks out there because there are going to be quarterbacks that will be free agents. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
There are going to be free agent quarterbacks that will be available in 2 years. Also, the draft in the quarterback realm in 2 years, if I'm projecting right, it won't be like this last class. You won't have 5 or 6 studs. You're going to have about 3 stud quarterbacks in 2 years that will be like, okay, we're ready to go to the big time and start now. And the problem is the Cowboys aren't going to be, if everything is like Jerry Jones wants, the Cowboys are not going to be at that upper or that lower echelon of teams to get the higher echelon player because of Dak because of CD, because of Parsons. They're going to have to trade their way up. That's why they're trying to develop Trey Lance to see if he's going to do it. And McCarthy says Lance knows the offense now that he might even be the number 2.
It won't make a difference.
I don't know.
In my opinion, and this is my opinion, Dak is more important than Micah Parsons. What has Micah Parsons proved? He hasn't. What has Micah Parsons proved? He can be
a game wrecker.
Not on a consistent basis. Not on a consistent basis.
So when they move him from middle linebacker out, so do you know how they used him before you even say that? They had him, instead of him rushing Brock Purdy, he would cover CMC.
Wait a minute.
Instead of rushing Jalen Hurts, he will be covering DeAndre Swift. So he wasn't
how did that work out for them? Els.
Oh, no, I get that. I didn't say it was perfect. What I'm saying is if he was rushing the passer all the time, 95% of the time, like TJ Watt was, he will be considered
he's not even
that guy right now. Right now,
he's not even
when you talk about edge rushers,
he's not even in that class.
He's listed. Okay, you can say next level. He's listed, but you got Garrett, you got TJ, who plays the same position as Parsons, but used differently. They don't move TJ to the middle linebacker spot like they do or they've done with Michael Parsons.
He's too light in the ass. He's too light in the ass. He's too light in the ass. That's what the problem with
TJ what?
Michael Parsons.
Michael Parsons. No. They drop TJ sometimes to cover the weak side.
He's more versatile.
But again, what I'm telling you is that Michael Parsons has been used at all 4 linebacker positions in the Cowboys defense in the past under Dan Quinn. TJ Watt, who plays the exact same position, only rushes the passer or drops down or drops into a hook curl zone area. It is very rare that when they play the Steelers, when they play man defense, that TJ Watt is covering anybody. So what I'm saying about that is Parsons, he doesn't, it's been said, I heard it this morning, that he doesn't like Zimmerman's defense, which is a man defense.
I told you that before.
Right? But what that tells me is they're not letting him rush all the time. They're going to make him cover. He has the speed to cover, but that's not the best thing he does. So in that vein, I can see what you're saying, JT, and I can see what you're saying, Q, that you would take care of Dak before you take care of Parsons because of the defense, but not because the guy can't do the job, because the man can wreak havoc. But
he's undersized.
That's fine. He's undersized, but he gets the job done.
The problem
he gets the job done.
Undersized.
But that has nothing to do with the wide receivers that we're talking about, other than the fact that it affects the Dallas Cowboys.
He's undersized and he gets overwhelmed by
not all the time. Not all the time. But with that being said, you have various positions that I don't know what that means.
That means he's too small.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
Exactly. With that being said,
you don't want to listen.
With that being said, let's talk about another situation in the NFL before we go to the NBA. So this 18-game season thing is gaining a little steam and a little bit of traction. They want to get rid of the preseason games and just turn those into regular season games. They want to get rid of OTAs, but have a longer training camp. In effect, right now, the NFL preseason and regular season and postseason are roughly 22, 23 weeks long. So half the year, right? So the projected outcome would now be that it's almost 30 weeks long, which hurts the teams that go to the Super Bowl and hurts the teams that go to the playoffs. Less recovery time. Will there be more roster spots? How can a rookie, a non-drafted rookie, make a team if they don't have the opportunity to go against somebody else and put stuff on tape? I want to get your thoughts, JT, then Q, on the actuality of an 18-game regular season with 2 bye weeks come to fruition, and what do you think the impact will be?
I still think undrafted players still have a shot. Okay, if they show something, I mean, quite naturally, it's going to be a slower process because they won't get as much playing time during the off season, preseason, or whatever. But they start showing improvement. Most of those guys are going to be special team players. They show improvement. They may get a shot at their respective positions, but it's going to be a harder road for players that are either lower drafted, meaning in the later rounds, or undrafted. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. I mean, if you have the ability, you'll get recognized sooner or later. Maybe not with the team that signed you in undrafted status, but with some other team that may give you a better shot, or they see something that they may be able to nourish their ability. So, I mean, that's the nature of the business. You know, the survival of the fittest. That's basically what it is.
All right, and I don't know what Denzel Washington movie you got on, but every time you move a certain way, I see it in the background.
Whatever.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
You say, oh, whatever. I'm just telling you what's going on. So anyway, Q, what are your thoughts about that?
I think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it affects the up-and-comers or the undrafted free agents, because the league doesn't really care about them. It only cares about the stars. And they're going to expand their product as long as they can, and they're going to stretch it out as long as they can. In like a year or two, in like 2 or 3 years, we're going to have Super Bowl on President's Day, bro. And then they're going to make that Monday a holiday. That's where it's going. So, I mean, I don't think it really affects anything, because all the superstar players that are coming out of college, they're going to be set already. And you always have like 5 to 10 like undrafted players that make the team. And if they're good, they're good. It doesn't matter how much time they have, the talent's going to come out. So in my opinion, it doesn't affect anything really. Like, the league is going to make more money. The players are going to make more money, and everybody's going to be fine with it. We're going to have no problem with it neither as fans.
Well, I don't know if so. I'll do it this way. You
didn't like my comment or what?
No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's you have 30 weeks of gameplay, but the damaging part to the player is the trade-off is this: if I win a Super Bowl, or if I go to the Super Bowl, not even if I win, if I go to the Super Bowl, I literally have to get ready to go back to work in a month or two before, I mean, so that means less time with my family, less healing time for my children. I mean, less healing time.
Bro, you see the contracts that players are signing? They're okay with it.
Well,
that's the nature of the beast.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like,
That's That's what they signed up for.
Yeah, I mean, look at the contracts they're signing right now. They have no problem with it.
That sounds like a woke attitude, man. What the heck was that?
Can I
Come
ask
on,
you a
man.
question? Let me
Come
ask you
on.
a question. What's the opposite of woke?
Sleep.
Exactly. And if you sleep and you want to be a sheep, go right ahead. I'll stay woke every day of the week because that means I am aware and I know what's going on. The thing is this: more money. If I'm only quoting Biggie, not Diddy. More money, more problems, right? And again, if we're going to talk about salary cap increases as the revenue increases,
Yes.
that's great. But I'm thinking about all these players that have all these issues during the season, postseason, and post-career. So you're telling me the average NFL career lasts 3 years, right? To get a pension.
But none of these players care, bro. They just want to play. Get paid in the
I'm not
moment.
talking about just the players. I'm thinking about it from a humanistic standpoint.
You can't think
That's
that
what
way.
I'm doing.
Yeah, this is entertainment, bro.
Fellas, I agree it's entertainment. However, what I'm saying is you want to kill a sport. You put so much into it that you say, okay, money, more time. But then that means less time for you. Let's look at the NBA, for example. The NBA and I believe MLB have a 50-51 split, something like that. Like the players have 50%, 49%, or 51. It's way more even than the NFL, right? They also play more games. But your top NBA players are now, hey, I want you to play for the national team. Or they go play for their team of their country of origin, who they identify with. Baseball, same thing. The Olympics comes around. Now we want you to play on the Olympic team. So the price of stardom, the price for the love of money. I mean, the OJs had the song, for the love of money, people will rob each other for the love of money. JT should know the song. Hey,
You don't have to sing it. You don't have to sing it. We get the point.
We get the point. Yes, exactly.
Whatever. I like singing. But my point is, when we look at it, and I flashed it up there too soon. I didn't keep it up there.
When you look at it.
JT, wake me up when Victor's done with his whatever.
He does this all the time, man.
It's my job. What I want.
He does this all the time.
You like take 20 minutes to get to a 1 minute point.
Exactly.
You know what? y'all can leave.
At least
Y'all
I'm not
can
the
leave.
only one that sees it. But I try to tell him that he don't want to listen.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It's
He
my
don't
show.
want to listen.
So what I'm getting to is when you guys make up the point about, okay, money, I get it. But at what point does money not matter tonight? Another song reference.
It doesn't in the NFL. They get big bucks to play in games. If a superstar goes down, there's going to be another player that's going to emerge.
I'm not saying that's not going to happen.
Okay, that's the nature of the beast. They know what they signed up for. They know what type of sacrifice they're making, regardless if it's for the family or on themselves. They want to get paid right now, plain and simple. And they love the game. And if they can get paid a nice piece of change to do it, they'll do it.
I agree with you, Tony. I agree with you. And Magic Johnson was on what's my man? Not Jimmy Fallon. What's the dude on ABC? Jimmy Kimmel. And he said players, exactly what JT said, because they were talking about WNBA and Caitlin Clark and Reese and all them saying, okay, well, are they the modern day Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, da-da-da-da-da? And he said, yes. And he said the players don't understand. They just don't get it. Yes, I had to go through this too as a young rookie blah, 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 blah. And then when I got my $25 million deal, people were hating because it never been done before. And he was saying that Caitlin and Reese are there making the same type of change in the WNBA. What it boiled down to was these players, they don't care that Reese and Caitlin are these superstars before they enter their world because they've been there for a while. But what they're failing to understand is because they're superstars before they get to the WNBA, more eyes, more money, more revenue are coming there. And if you keep beating up your stars where they can't perform, those eyes and that revenue is going to go away slowly but surely. So my point is, when you give these guys 30 game weeks on top of the training and stuff like that, the quality is going to diminish. Just like Tony said, as flag football grows and player safety becomes the biggest issue, the less likely the NFL is going to be the top dog. We love it for its brutality. We love it because we can support the teams we identify, blah, blah, blah. But we had, 2 years ago, a guy died on TV. Before that, COVID, we saw games getting moved day after day after day just for entertainment purposes. But it was for revenue. Let's keep it real. It was for the revenue.
Let's keep
They
it
only
real.
canceled one game.
The guy was revived. You say he died, and that was it.
Yeah, he died. He died, and then they brought him back. But
Yes.
he officially died on the field.
Well,
There is no if, ands, or but. That was the.
He didn't officially die because there was no death certificate.
Thank you, Coop.
That's-
I'm trying to get around to that. I'm trying to
He
get around to
died.
that. He left it at died. I mean, come on, man.
He died.
Come on.
The
Come
doctors and the physicians on the field said he died, and then he was brought back.
So he didn't die. He didn't die.
JT,
Die is permanent. Die is permanent. Am I right
He
about that?
died.
You're right. You're right, Jerry.
back.
Die is permanent. Come
Again,
on, man.
Again, it doesn't matter. This is what the professionals
Die is
You.
permanent.
The professionals, not you, who is not professionally trained nor educated to make that qualification. The people that are said that. Let's go with that. Not the person's feeling, not
Well,
the person's belief.
But you left it at that. You said
No,
he
I
died.
didn't. I
Yes,
was
you
saying, listen, the man died. They brought him back, and the game, that was the only game that was canceled.
Well, you know why you say.
So I was just
I
making
said
it.
something.
Excuse me. I was using that as an example of the NFL doing what they want to do for revenue. I went back because you didn't listen because you're stuck in your head about COVID, how they just moved game from Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday,
Well,
just because they wanted to have
okay.
the revenue. So when you have these events happen, it does not show a care for the player or player safety. It shows a need for the revenue. Now, does that mean that a 30-week season to win the Super Bowl is going to cause major impact on a player's mental health, physical health? It could.
Can I ask you a
We
question?
don't know. We don't know yet because it hasn't been done.
Can I
But
ask you?
if you follow the pattern of health and you follow the pattern of where these players are right now, there's a chance. Q, I'll allow you to say something.
Jerry wants to ask you a question, bro.
Oh, he does? I didn't notice because I was talking because he kept trying to talk over me.
I'm trying. Oh, well, because I heard the number maybe 3 or 4 times, and I'm trying to calculate in my head where do you get a 30-game season from?
Exactly. It's only 18.
Because you have to think about it. You have the 2 extra games. You have the playoffs. You have the.
But not all the teams are gonna make the playoffs, bro.
I understand that. That's why I said the 2 teams that make the Super Bowl, you're giving them significantly less time.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll trade that for the Super Bowl.
To build their body to get whatever family issues they have or private businesses things they have in order. And I get it. They know what they signed up for.
Wait a minute. Let me just answer.
But
Can I answer this question?
That goes with what
Okay.
Tony was saying. NFL product
Can I
will diminish.
Can I ask this question, please? Okay.
Right.
18 games. Okay. They play the wild card game. Okay. Say they play the wild card. That's 19. Say they play the divisional game. If they get past the wild card, that's 20. Say they play the conference championship. That's 21. And they get past that and they go to the Super Bowl. That's only 22 games, bro. What are you talking about?
Did you not forget that they have to go to mandatory camp for a month and a half? Did you? That's part of it. That is part of it.
They're not games.
But the wear and tear on the body, wear and tear on the body is where.
Bro,
that's what I'm saying. You're not getting. You're looking at one aspect. It's okay. I get it. You're not looking at the total picture. I'm looking at the guy that is there because remember not remember because I don't know if you know or not, but the proposal is you get rid of these pre-mini camps for all the rookies, and you just turn that into straight camp for everybody up until you start the first game of the season, which would be mid-August.
Okay,
so you start preparing June, late June, early July. The draft doesn't happen until the end of April.
That's not game.
And that's current. That's current. And if you take the Super Bowl and push it down another week, that means you push the draft into early May. So that's what you look at.
What I'm saying is this, Victor. What I'm saying is this. Okay. They have training camp. That's not games. That's not games at all. That's training camp. They're just going. Wait, can I finish? Can I finish? Please.
Maybe.
See, this is what I go through. Come on, man. Anyway, they have training camp. Training camp is not like even remotely like games. Training camp is training camp. They go through different drills in training camp.
All day, every day. You're right. It's not like a regular game.
It's not all day, bro. It's just like 4 hours, bro.
No. The physical part. The physical part. Then you got the mental. You got to be in the classroom, right? You're away from your family. Then you got to heal up.
Bro.
There's so much to it that you're not thinking about.
The other day.
I understand you're not athletes. I get it.
The other day, I just worked like 18 hours, bro. And guess what? I'm never even going to smell the amount of money that they make.
Right.
And so it's okay if they have to work a little bit extra. They're getting paid millions of dollars, bro.
Let me.
I feel that. I don't disagree with that. However, I will say.
Can I finish my thought?
To that point, yes, but Q interrupted you.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
But what I'm saying is, since Q interrupted you and stop him, I'm gonna answer him and then I'll let you finish.
Okay.
With that being the case, think about this. You worked 18 hours, then you were asleep, and you don't have to go back to work for another day or two, right?
Back to work like 10 hours later.
Okay. But you're not doing that 7 days a week for a month and a half.
Oh my God! But I do it for like 11 months out of the 12 months.
Yes, exactly.
No, you have time to go do what you want to do. You're not.
Oh, bro.
11.
So
you're not
do they.
Go ahead, JT.
Go ahead. So what I'm saying is this: they go to training camp. They go.
Thank you, Tony.
Can I finish?
But they're trying to make money in. They're trying to put the money in training camp. Yes. I was
Can I
just
finish? Okay, they go to training camp. They want to cut down the games to 2 preseason games. Okay,
No, they want to cut them out.
Okay, if they cut the preseason games out, they're only playing 18 regular season games and then the playoffs. And if you're fortunate enough to get to the a wild card, to get through the wild card, to the divisional, to the conference, and to the Super Bowl, that's 4 more games. That's 22 games. Not even close to 30. Not even close to 30.
Again, you're not looking at the wear and tear on the body and the brain during minicamp. You think they don't hit in minicamp? You don't think they don't run them into the ground during minicamp?
Let me say this, okay?
Get out of here with that, bro.
Game speed, and games are totally different than training camp. Totally different than training camp.
Jerry, no one's denying that. What I'm saying is the impact of the body. The body is just because you're not in a train wreck for 60 minutes.
That makes a difference.
Just because you're not hitting another team during that time, they still do one-on-ones. They still do drills. They still hit each other in practice. They still do mini camp.
Bro, it's football.
They hit each other in what? I didn't hear what you said. They hit each other in what?
In heat.
Practice.
Yes, at practice. Look, Allen Iverson. All I'm gonna tell you is
about practice.
You're wrong, but no.
Okay.
Basically, what your contention is, because it's not a regular season game, it doesn't count for the physicality. It doesn't count for all the anguish. And I'm saying, yes, it does. That is the fundamental difference here.
You think number ones are always on the field? You think they don't rotate number twos or whoever on the field?
They do that in games too. The quarterback is the quarterback unless he gets hurt. Got it. But just because you rotate players doesn't mean that people aren't still hitting each other. It just means more people are hitting each other as opposed to a finite number. And just what happened in freaking Kansas City this week. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a guy had a seizure and cardiac arrest during minicamp.
Probably hot as hell in Kansas City.
And this is the time frame where they want them to be doing this stuff. This is my point. You're talking about, well, they're not doing, and I'm like, dude just had a freaking stroke. I mean, a seizure and cardiac arrest at a mini camp.
Dude, cardiac arrest season game.
All of this is part of the job that you sign up for, bro.
Yes, exactly.
If you're gonna become a cop, there's a good chance you might get shot at. If you're gonna become a firefighter, there's a chance you're gonna have to run in a fire. Come on, this is part of their job. Why are you feeling sorry for these guys? They're getting paid very, very, very well.
Look, Q, all I'm saying, I'm not defending them. What I'm saying is, you're not looking at the other stuff they have to do.
Tough luck. I mean, they're getting paid handsomely.
There's a reason why only so many people can make it to that level, right? And there's also a reason why only so many people can stay at that level. At the current state, when you make it longer, it'll be even less people able to do it.
I guarantee you one thing. None of those players are feeling sorry that I had to work 18 hours the other day, and I won't even smell anything close to what they're making. I don't know what the problem is right here. These are grown-ass men, and they made a choice to go play, and they're getting rewarded. It's not like they're doing it for free.
Now,
exactly. And plus they're super athletes. They're super athletes. They're best at what they do, because they train to be able to do what they do.
And again, I'm not disagreeing with you all.
Yes, you are.
All I'm saying is you're not considering the extension of the season and all the things they're asking to do, the wear and tear and the mental stuff that's going to happen to these folks, regardless of how much money they make. If you're telling me just because I get $88 million,
Okay, well then,
wait a minute. All right, if you're telling me just because I get $88 million, it doesn't matter that I'm physically and mentally messed up because I'm getting $88 million. That's essentially what you guys are saying. Just because I get so much money, it doesn't matter that I have to do all this extra stuff on top of what I've done that I've already got injured for. I've had mental issues for. It doesn't matter because I got $88 million.
Well,
that's basically what y'all are saying.
Well, let me put it this way. That goes into the safety of the game. They try to as much as they can. They try to as much as they can to make the players safe with the type of equipment that they have. But it's a collision game. Everybody knows that. They signed up for a collision game. They've been playing it since a lot of them have been playing it since Pop Warner. They know what they signed up for. They know what type of game it is. Depending on what your skill set is and what your position is, there's more collision and more high risk collisions than others. Okay, versus an offensive or defensive lineman versus a running back or a wide receiver. Okay, but they know what they signed up for. And
me and Tony on the same page today. This is a miracle.
You and Tony on the same page all the time.
They're willing to sacrifice in order to get paid for their family and for themselves. That's the bottom line.
And again, it boils down to basically what you just said. Because I'm getting so much money, it doesn't matter how messed up I am physically or mentally. That's basically what you just said. And that's what I'm saying is a problem when you extend the season that long, whether it's the mini camp or whatever it's called, training camp throughout the Super Bowl. You're telling me, and everybody don't make that type of money. You got players on the team that make Brock Purdy made minimum wage.
And Brock Purdy's
wait a minute, he ain't got no new contract. He can't get a new contract till
that's all right, bro. You know he's not spending money. You know he's getting free stuff. You know he's making some kind of commercial. You know he's getting. Come on.
And the fact is,
Brock Purdy could have been a flash in a pan with that injury that could have ended his entire career. But he took the team to the NFC Championship game, possibly could have went to the Super Bowl. But had he not been able to come back from the injury, oh well, he got $300,000. So his career's over. He can go back and do what he wants.
Exactly.
These players know what they signed up for.
Yeah.
They know what the
you guys work for the league, which is fine.
Know what the risk
I work
is.
for the NFLPA.
Okay. If you're so worried about them, you should go tell all them NFL professional athletes, all of them, to go donate $100 to all the homeless people in the world, and then we wouldn't have homeless people. I bet you they won't do it. But yeah, they'll spend like $100,000 on suits and everything. Come on, bro. You can't feel sorry for them.
Because a lot of them have charitable organizations. A lot of them, not all of them, because everybody can't afford to do that. You're only looking at you guys are looking at the guys that make huge dollars. I'm thinking about everybody to the guy that makes 70 or 80 grand for the whole year that's on the practice squad. He has to show up every day. Guess
what? There's people that make like $25,000 a year.
No, I got that. But what I'm saying is you're telling me a guy is going to get beat up all season long on a practice squad.
Well, that's their choice. They sign up for it.
I didn't say it wasn't their choice because they have to be selected, first of all. It's their choice to try and be in that career field. It's their choice to want to be in that career field. There are players that get drafted and told, you have to go to this team because they drafted you. That isn't a choice. You made yourself available is the choice. You got players that can't walk away from teams because their teams. Randy Gregory is suing the NFL and the Denver Broncos right now. Now, granted, Randy Gregory has a drug history, but he's suing the NFL and the Denver Broncos right now because the Denver Broncos doctors prescribed medication for him that popped him hot on one of the drug tests in Denver. But yet he's the one that got suspended. He's the one that got fined.
Let me ask you something.
It's like, okay, go there, you expect these people to take care of you and give you the right advice and do these things, but then you get on the short end of the stick and left hanging out there to dry.
Let me ask you something. Who drafted Randy Gregory?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Why did Randy Gregory leave the Dallas Cowboys?
Again, he had drug issues with marijuana. And then, you know what happened the year afterwards? The NFL said, we're going to allow marijuana in. So there you go. Since you want to talk about throw your hands in the air, the NFL, the year after that, said that marijuana was not going to be a substance they test for illegal substances. Continue with your point, please.
My point is he brought what he brought under the rules at the time. At the time. I'm not worried about what happened the year after. I'm worried about what happened at the time. He knew what the rules were, and he broke them, and he got pumped for it. He was getting paid a lot of money, and he disregarded that just so he could use pot. Come on, man. Okay.
He wasn't the only person to do it, but he was one that was made an example of.
Yep.
I get it. I'm not saying that. That's why I said at the beginning, he had a lot of drug issues. I didn't say he didn't.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is that the man followed the rules in place, went to the doctors that the NFL said go to, which is the team doctors, was prescribed medicine by the team doctor who is sanctioned by the NFL, popped hot because of that substance, had to pay the fine and got suspended for it. But it wasn't his fault because he followed the rules. So now what's your issue? He didn't follow the rules before, so it's his fault. He followed the rules, but it's still his fault? What? I mean, please let me know. Please let me know. Again, because he makes a lot of money, like you keep saying. He makes a lot of money, but because he made a lot of money and he followed the rules, he's still at fault?
Okay, I hope you defend him like that when he was breaking all the rules too.
No. I'm not defending him. I'm countering what JT's saying. Because if JT's going to throw him under the bus for breaking the rules at the beginning, how about defend him now when he's in the right? Instead of just saying, well, he's got all that money. I mean, that's the whole point of the conversation about the NFL stretching the season out. It's okay because they got a lot of money. Stretch it out. But as soon as somebody gets hurt, soon as somebody can't play anymore, just like JT said, then somebody else is going to come up.
Victor, last year you didn't have this stat or nothing, and it's only one game that they're adding. I don't know what the big deal is.
No, the proposal.
They're adding one more
I know,
game.
But again, you're looking at the now. That's what Magic Johnson was saying about the WNBA.
No, I know, but you weren't up in arms over the 17-game season last year.
Because the thought process was just to take it to 17, not extend it out. Just like we're talking about here, they're talking about pushing it even further.
Well, guess what? It's because people like us keep consuming it. And so everybody's just trying to make more and more and more money.
Well, I get that. And that's what I'm saying. It should not be just about the money. That is my point.
If you have such a big problem with that, then you should stop watching NFL on the 17th season, on the 17th week. And then that way you won't feel guilty that all these guys are having to play extra, and it won't be in your conscience.
It's not on my conscience. It's not. Honestly, if you want the truth, I kind of feel the way you guys feel, but because of the way you guys are putting it out, I'm counter to your thought process. I actually agree with you, but because you're saying they got all this money, it doesn't matter. I'm like, oh, it does matter. So that's the only reason why I'm going the way I'm going.
Tony just said from an athlete's point of view. I didn't know he was an athlete.
Tony was a very good athlete.
And we were all good athletes when we were 14, 15, 16, but we weren't athletes that we made it professional.
That is true. That is true.
So that statement is wrong from an athlete's point of view. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. JT was looking something up. Go ahead, JT. I still am.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Slow pitch softball.
You got nothing, JT?
I got nothing to say. I mean, we can go round and round in here. You should be Michael Parsons' agent. That's all I can tell you. You should be
I'm not Michael Parsons'
agent.
But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to discuss the NBA Finals. Are the Mavs a fluke, or is Boston just that damn good? Stick and stay with me. It's Mr. FSP. Be right back.
Embark on an unforgettable journey through Egypt with Hues of Africa and Soul Journey Travel. Discover the wonders of this ancient land with our expertly curated itinerary, from the majestic pyramids of Giza to the tranquil waters of the Nile. Immerse yourself in the rich history and vibrant culture of Egypt. Book now and use discount code VICTOR2024 to save $100 off your trip. Single and dual occupancy options available with flexible payment plans. Visit our website for more details and start your adventure today.
Later on, make sure that gate is closed because the 24 sign's up there.
Oh,
Okay. So with that being said, are we good? What's wrong?
I'm just laughing at Tony's comment.
Oh, okay. Okay. So with that being said, let's move on to basketball. JT put up 4, you put up 5. JT, you got the floor first.
What's that? What's the subject? You talking about Boston?
We're talking about the game, not just the teams.
What?
I mean, not just one team. We're talking about the series.
The game? That didn't surprise me. They're one of the better defensive teams in the league and second only to Indiana in offense in the league. Didn't surprise me. They won the most games in the NBA for a reason. So Dallas is a fluke. He said Boston wins by 5. I say 4. I think they don't have enough weapons. They got Kyrie and they got Luka. Okay. The other guys are just a guy. Okay. That's the problem. They got on that team 5 guys that can score and play defense. They got 7 or 8 guys at least that can score and play defense. So Dallas is outmanned and outgunned, in my opinion. I mean, okay, they're going to win one game out of the finals. Okay, I say it's done in 4. I say it's done in 4.
All right, Q. You said it's going to be 5. Why do you think it's going to be 5?
I think it has a good shot to be done in 4, but I think one of those games 3 or 4, Dallas is going to play the hardest that they can, because they're going to be in desperation mode, and maybe they'll win that game by like a point or 2. But I don't see it going much longer than 5 games. It's just Boston has too many good players, too many good defenders, and they got the best defender in the NBA in Drew Holiday, and he's going to shut down Kyrie. Kyrie is going to work so hard just to get 10, 15 points, bro, that he's not going to have no energy to do anything on defense. And in my opinion, they have no shot in this series, Dallas.
So I did notice something when you said that. Kyrie didn't get off in this game.
He's not going to neither. Drew Holiday is the best defender in the NBA, bro. 1-on-1.
Well, okay.
Tell me who's better.
No, I didn't listen. I didn't say he wasn't good. He was not the best because he didn't make. He made the all defensive team, but I don't think he was the number one guy.
Anthony Edwards is a very good defender.
Yes, I was going with Anthony Edwards myself, but Drew is a very, very solid guard.
You got to post what Tony just said. I agree. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves would have gave them a little bit more of a.
I think so too.
So because Minnesota can play some damn defense better than Dallas.
I agree, and that's why I think that Anthony Edwards is a better matchup in this. But I think Kyrie wilted under the pressure of Boston. That's what I think happened. Luka, he didn't do much better, but at least he showed up. I didn't see Kyrie show up. I didn't see most of the team show up until the second half, and that's after Boston pulled their starters.
I agree, Tony. You're right.
But I agree with him too. I'm gonna post it in a second. But when I look at what happened in the first game, I said, okay, look, I think Luka and company's gonna come out Sunday night and make it competitive. Remember, Boston has only lost 2 games all postseason. 2. It's going to be very, very difficult to match their energy. And that was without Kristaps Porzingis. If Porzingis stays healthy, I think Porzingis is the MVP of the finals. They brought him off the bench, and he was hitting threes. He was going down low. He did.
Blocking shots.
Yeah, blocking shots. He did everything that Karl Anthony Towns should have done. I'm going to put it that way. If Karl Anthony Towns did what Porzingis did, it would be Minnesota here and not freaking Dallas. And Q, you better listen to your wife. Get your bag.
That's my daughter.
Okay.
Oh, close enough. Close enough.
Oh boy.
Close enough. But I'm going to be the odd guy here. I think Dallas gets 2 games. I think this is a 6-game series. And I think they steal the game Sunday night. Because Boston felt so emboldened and brave and did what they did, Dallas comes back and plays bully ball. I think there's going to be a lot of fouls. I think they're going to force Porzingis to play defense down low. I think that's what they're going to do. I'm not saying because Bill Walton passed away, Boston had an extra boost, but they played like it. If Dallas uses their big guys the way they did versus Denver, and just like Tony said, Minnesota exerted all their energy to beat Denver and didn't have anything left against Dallas. I think Dallas exerted all their energy to beat Minnesota and have very little left to beat Boston. But I believe they get 2 games. Tony should have just came on the show. He got all these things.
You know why? You know why Dallas was able to do all that stuff offensively in the other series, right?
Because the refs were calling.
No, because they weren't playing against good defenders like Boston. Boston has good defenders all around, bro.
Yep, all around. And they got guys on the bench that can defend.
This is like the worst matchup for Dallas, bro.
Yep.
Well, I'll put it this way: who was the best defensive team in the NBA this year? Minnesota.
That doesn't matter. Regular season is not the same, bro.
I know that, but throughout the playoffs as well, up until they ran into Dallas, up until they ran into Denver. Denver only scored over 100 twice, but before that, they had not given up more than, I believe it was 85, 90 points per game.
Well,
Yeah, but Boston they're a great offensive team too, bro.
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is Dallas has the potential to do a lot offensively. The way they shoot the three, the way they play the game.
did you not listen to what I just said? I said Boston was the second highest scoring team in
I
the
know they were.
NBA. In
I know
the
they were, 'cause
NBA. And,
I know that.
and one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. That means they have very good players that can play both ways.
Who was the sixth best scoring team in the NBA, Jerry?
They're regular season or just regular season, bro. You play, all those stats and everything get averaged out even when you play against scrubs.
Well, then Jerry can't bring up that then. Because if you're gonna bring that up and you're gonna say I can't bring up the fact that defense all that season, Jerry just won the whole thing about the regular season too. So both points are mute or they have equal balance.
If you can curb the offensive players on the other side of the ball, on the side of the court, you increase your chances exponentially. Strong defense. You can shut down the most offensive weapons that they have because you have 5 guys, not 2 or 3 guys. You got 5 guys that can play defense. And if you only have 2 guys that are the main sources of your offense, 5 against 2, that's bad math, according to Dallas. That's bad. 5 against 2? Come on, man.
Again, all I'm getting to is that Dallas, I believe, will win 2 games. I don't believe it's going to be a sweep.
All I can tell you.
It's quite possible they win just 1, but I believe they steal this game tonight and try to take home court advantage away from Boston.
They play tomorrow.
Huh?
They play tomorrow.
Yeah, Sunday. And make things hot. With that being said, any closing remarks from you, JT, about tomorrow or anything at all?
Tomorrow, I will not be around. I have not 10, not 20, not 30, but 40th year anniversary tomorrow. I can't be here.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
So,
she put
Jerry,
up
you're the man.
Wow.
Jerry, you're the man with the master plan.
Now he don't want the master plan no more because I own the trademark. That's why he went to for no reason.
You don't own the trademark. You just whatever. I just had to move on. And this is a better fit. So it is what it is.
All right. What you got, Q?
Well, I just want to say this was one of the worst shows I've participated in a while. Like, God, I've never seen you drag about a subject that you were like 100% wrong in the whole show.
I was not 100% wrong. Just because I didn't agree with you didn't mean I was 100% wrong.
Wow. But anyways, I'm just kidding. I got nothing, guys. That's it.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, is the 8th. Tomorrow is also Father's Day.
What? Are you crazy, bro?
It's the second Sunday in June.
Nah, you're talking about Mother's Day, bro. There's no setup for Father's Day. They just make Father's Day whenever they want to.
Father's Day is the 16th, man.
Also, it's the 3rd week of June. I thought it was the 2nd week of June.
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, that's fine.
God help this. God help this man. Please, somebody help this man. I put up with this for 15 years. Please help this man.
Let me get to what I was going to say, because that ties into what I was about to say. As of the 6th or the 7th, I have been doing this show for 15 years. That's a long time. That to deal with an ornery, older gentleman who started out winning all of my prizes because he had nothing else better to do but cheat and use the internet.
No, more right than wrong. I tell you that one right now, brother. More right than wrong. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I broke him out of his shell from this. It's this. To where you have now, where he's like, for no reason, I'm just gonna say what I want to say. That for 15 years, this man has been a good friend, a jerk, most of it, but a good friend.
Q.
Can I finish my accolades to you, please?
Wow, that's an accolade. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. To someone that I confide in, I talk to, I get advice from, and stuff like that.
And still call me a jerk, Q.
And
yeah, it's not. I'm not wrong.
those are accolades. I don't want to hear when he really mad.
Yeah, I know.
But through it all, JT has been there for me, and the shows, very dependable.
Wow, shots fired
I said he's very dependable. How is that a shot fired?
at me.
Oh, I was not trying to throw a shot at you. I wasn't. But since you said it, you know.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't saying that at all. Not at all. But I want to thank everybody that's I'm doing my bad boys thing. Ride and died with us for this time frame. From Chris LaMonica, from my cousin, from Black, from rest in peace, my cousin, rest in peace, Jeff, Sylvia Crawley, even Jerry's favorite of favorites, Mac, because he loves him some Mac, boy. He and Mac are just like this.
Yeah. Like this. Yeah, like this.
And
or like this.
Dude, really?
Yeah.
My
like
new
this.
ride or die, Q. My homie and ride or die for now until he decides to change up on us. Tony. I want to thank everybody that has been a part of our program.
Oh, I gotta say this. Did you get my Facebook and did you get my?
I just joined and they're asking me to pay already. I'm like, dude, give me a second. We're not even full. But with that being the case, I want to thank everybody that has been a part of this program, has appeared on any of the shows over the years. Time Out with Cynthia Crawley, No Chaser with Mac, FSP Cruise Show, FSP Show. I forget the other shows we've had, JT. What's the Carn Artist guy that we had? Extra Points.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I would thank him too, but I forgot his name. But I want to appreciate everyone. We just getting started, y'all. We are just getting started. What does DCT mean? What does that mean? Do y'all know what that means?
I know.
It says DC2.
DCT. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means.
Tony, what does DCT mean?
Explain, Tony.
Yeah, because we're about to get off air. I want to know what it means before we go. Anyway, thank y'all. Greatly appreciate you. I literally. Dunbar Christmas. Okay. All right. Dunbar Christmas Tide. DUNBAR. Dunbar. That's a high school thing, y'all.
Anyway, what's your exciting news?
So, I texted to you. I wasn't going to share it live, but I will.
Okay, no problem.
I mean, I'll share it.
You said you had
After 20 years of military service, my last day in uniform will be August 29th. August 28th, actually. but August 29th. And I will be officially retired from the United States Army on that day. We have a draft. Thank you. We have a draft that Saturday.
Okay.
And oh boy, I'll be officially away and I can say what I want to say. Yay! Because all my money will be already stacked and ready, packed. Tony's class of 96, I'm class of 94. But
Well, let me say this now.
yes.
I guess you're going to wait until everyone is paid up before we can do any kind of draft pick trading. Am I right about that?
Of course.
I'm
It's only
just
a few
asking.
people left. It's only a few
Just
people
asking.
left because you, Q, me, and Sammy, because Q got to pay Sammy's. So, well, Sammy ain't paid up yet because Q hasn't paid.
I didn't have to pay for Sammy. I had to pay for what's his name? Louisiana guy.
Oh yeah. My bad.
I already paid for it. I'm already paid.
Yeah.
I paid for them too.
You paid. Brent's paid. I'm paid. Jerry's paid. I think it's one other person that's paid. So basically, half the league is already paid,
Okay.
but the other half has to pay.
Okay.
That would include Tony.
Okay.
But anyway, took me longer. Dude, I needed 20 years to retire, bro. I got to get paid. I got to get paid. Anyway, with that being said, we're about to move to Arizona. So the September shows will be emanating from the sunny golf courses of Arizona or the casinos of Arizona. He says, don't be asking no money from me.
Hey,
Bro, I'm good.
You want to be in this league, you got to pay to play, man.
Yeah, you gotta. If you're not gonna come back, Tony, let me know. 'Cause if you're not gonna come back, that means I gotta find somebody. But anyway, with that being said, we appreciate everybody. Thank you. 20 years is a long time. 15 of that I've been dealing with this dude, so he's kept me slightly sane. I get to hang out with my boy. Oh, he'll send it this week. My brother Tony. I'll be hanging out with that dude in a week, going on The Price is Right.
I'm gonna take you to the projects, homie. I'm gonna take you to the project straight from the movie Training Day. We're gonna drive in there.
Are you gonna go on one of the shows with me, or is this gonna be me and my wife?
I don't know, bro.
Hey, do me a favor, Q.
Yeah.
When you ride through the hood, point to him and say, look at the colors he's wearing. Colors he's wearing.
I'm like, hey, vato loco.
He already asked me not to take him, bro. He
I
said
did
he
not
wants
ask you not to take me.
he want to stay on the rich side of LA.
Oh, wow.
I did not say that. Don't believe what that dude just said, y'all. Growing up in DC, I ain't scared of no LA.
You ain't been in D.C. in a long.
I said growing up.
Hey, that was 20 years ago, bro. 20 years ago.
You ain't been in D.C. in a long time,
DC's
bro.
a lot better than it was 20 years ago. Matter of fact, excuse me, it's a lot better than when it was when I grew up there, which was 48 years ago. So trust me, I can handle myself. You feel me,
Bro?
Not with all the issues that you have physically now. Hey, no, you running away. Don't hurt me.
Hey,
old man.
Hey, Jerry, he's not even gonna be able to turn back and see who it is.
Yeah, I ain't ready to turn back. I'm about to turn my whole body. But hey, that's a cheap shot. That's a cheap shot. That's a true statement, but it's a cheap shot. But all I gotta do is hear it. If I hear it, don't. Open the car, Q. I'm diving in, bro. But anyway, I want to thank everybody.
You can't even run anymore.
Yeah, yes, I can. It just hurts. But with that being the case, thank everybody. We're gonna see you here next week. If there's any NFL news, we'll talk NFL. If not, we'll talk about the NBA. the NBA and baseball. Something I'm good at. Peace. Oh, no. Hold up. I got to do it the right way. See ya.
Fantasy sports and politics.
You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember,
face.
because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Derek's gonna get him.
Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not